So those are some of the roles that you can go straight into, into data from either undergraduate or switching career. Some of it, like I said, machine learning engineer, you might need a master's, or if you've got experience as a data scientist or something in programmer, software programmer, a software developer, you might be able to walk into this. So let's talk salaries. So what kind of salaries are we talking about here? So if you look at the builders, right? They, if you're coming at entry, they're quite high. Now, data architect is very rarely an entry level role because you'd have to be an engineer or an analyst to move into data architect. But if you did like data analytics for a couple of years and you understood how it all worked, or machine learning engineer, you could move into a data architect role. You've got database admin roles, like I said, we talked about just managing the database, and then analytics engineers. And you can see when you get to senior, you can go. So these like rank really high, and then they get quite good at the end. The interpreted analysis, that, like I said, the easiest role to get into is data analyst, which is reflected by the salary here. Okay, and then but after that, you've got statistician, and the reason statistician is quite low is because they're employed by governments or hospitals and stuff, or NHS. They're not, you're not going to get highly paid from that. BI analyst, again, very easy role to get into. Quant is very high, but you'd come from a top university with an engineering or a physics degree or a computer science degree, and you're very good in the finance sector. And you can see the quants are very big, 200 plus bonus when you get to senior. The only problem is you're working like 18 hours a day, hardly getting any sleep, that kind of stuff, but you make good money. Data analysts and stuff, you can see there is a ceiling at the top level. You're not going to get beyond that ceiling. So, with the data analyst, once you've done it for a few years, that is sort of your ceiling. The AAML guys, so data scientist goes higher, ML engineer obviously much higher, and then the AI researcher, because AI researchers literally invent things that then is commercialized. So you can see, but their entry level is slightly higher, which generally means that you've either got a very good engineering or programming type degree, or you've got a master's. And then finally, this should not say the innovators, this should say the guardians, but data ethicists, governance managers, compliance. These roles, you can come in from a policy type role. So if you worked in local government, or you work in central government, or you work for organizations like think tank, where you have a policy type qualification, then you could actually come into these are not technical roles. These are roles where you're thinking about what are the rules and regulations that my company needs to stick to. Chief data officer obviously is a senior role. It goes right, it's one of the highest paid jobs in data, but you're at the board level now, you're at the top of that.